Spacey and I dip dabs, yabba dabba do bad. Eric if I do bad, lady when I needed that. Helping assistance, lit on persistence. Define the system, back like legal missing. Don't ask me no questions, I'm moving my essence. It's salsa, it's excellence.
Skydiving, 3 droplets of acid rain, liquid 4 cyanide. Truth is beer, steer your lane. Gain a property, monopoly, no playing in this game. You so call it, what a shame. Back into a state of focus, tunnel vision, change your frame. Positivity from thought, inner compass, use your soul. Lace them beats with this dope. Every lyric, if you listen close, peep how we compose. Control of your inner dome, rolling this audio close.
Shawty be so lit, hands up on a hit. Say she wanna hit, and I create a hit. Gone on the mothership. Spacey and I dip dabs, yabba dabba do bad. Eric if I do bad, lady when I needed that. Helping assistance, lit on persistence. Define the system, back like legal missing. Don't ask me no questions, I'm moving my essence. It's salsa, it's excellent. I maintain lit all day. Clear sky vision, but I'm birds in a way. Watch me fly by. I maintain lit all day. Clear sky vision, but I'm birds in a way. Watch me fly by. I maintain lit all day. Clear sky vision, but I'm birds in a way. Watch me fly by. I maintain lit all day. Clear sky vision, but I'm birds in a way. Watch me fly by.
Release my demons, they exposed. Resurrected, undetected as my angels keep the flow. Best reflection of myself, we keep paddling out the swells. When the peak is overhead, you know exactly we do well. We do well, yeah. Ain't no pills, say ain't no pills. The side effects are worse, and why you in it, that's for real. So let me chief up on this herbal and I keep it. Plant the seed and to watch the trees grow in seasons.
Where I come from, streets is made of gold. Trapping like the new me, move back like the old me. On my back like Yoshi, yeah. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna owe me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna owe me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Can't beat them, join them. One life, enjoy it. Live like you royal, hell with purpose, let's destroy it. You think I'm joking? It's every word that's spoken. And rap these days is trapping crazy, can get away with anything with 808s. They spell and pray and swell your brain, you fade away. Your soul decay, they dig and graze. I'm A-okay, just fast and pray. There'll come a day, a price to pay like Sally May, you in debt. So cast away your regrets, I digress. They regress, they treat girls like objects. They play around like recess. This rap game is nonsense. They big mad cause we bless. A goon to a goblin, you offset, I onset. I'm onset with wine in my goblet. You whining for God, I just pulled out the projects assigned to these haters. I feed off your comments, shake greed off my palms and take knees like I'm Colin. Take heat or just rot and just bleed while you falling in. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna owe me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna owe me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Sitting, waiting, sinning lately, getting lazy, lighting up, you getting hazy. Kinda light just doesn't faze me, hating things that rap portraying. Ricky Bobby shaking bacon, Ricky Bobby shaking, me and Evo breaking up. I just hung up on the plug. Look at me like, why you bugging? Now they all like, what the what? Look at them like, why you thugging? Want my soul, want my gifts, want my heart for fame and money. Gotta admit, I almost did it. Turn around and started running. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna owe me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi. Trapping like new me, boom bap like old me. Too bad they know me, they wanna owe me, but now they owe me. Bag y'all like groceries, wrap on my back like I am Yoshi.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 3273 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes? Busses, hustlers, and your hoes, it's your boy Papa Swole, back with another episode. Today's episode, the Beastcast, is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
It's a beautiful thing. Welcome to Tuesday, April the 20 dose. I am your host, Papa Swole. Welcome to 3273. We got a great show today. Welcome everyone on Rumble and YouTube. Make sure you hit the like button, thumbs up, and of course, subscribe. Check out all the links down below to join the Swole fam over at swolenormousx.com for all the programs and yoga, meditation, masterclasses, all the exclusive releases. We dropped new things yesterday. We'll talk about that in a moment. And of course, if you want to buy one, get one 50% off all merch, check it out over at papaswole.com. Today I'm rocking Swole White and the 7 Steaks. So drop in the comments down below. What Swole merch are you wearing? You have to wear your uniform when you listen to the show. So if you're going to listen to the Daily Swole, you got to throw in some Swole merch. So drop it. What's your uniform today? What's your uniform? It's like a baseball all-star game where the teams wear their uniforms for, I don't know if they still do that. I don't watch baseball all-star games anymore, but they used to wear their jersey for their team, not like American League, National League type thing. Anyway, what jersey are you wearing? Drop in the comments. Now let's get into some Swole fam posts. Yesterday, we dropped some brand new merch. NotRetarded.com. Come on now. Tell me that's not the best thing you've ever heard in your life. It probably is. I understand. NotRetarded.com. NotRetarded.com. This shirt is not retarded. So when you wear it and a libtard gets all upset, that's not a nice word to say. It's not a nice word. You say, no. No. We're not talking about retarded. We don't say that word. This is not retarded. It's not retarded. This is not retarded at all. It's not retarded.com. We're not talking about retarded. We're talking about not retarded. And then they'll make them feel all better. Problem solved. Buy one, get one 50% off over at papaswolio.com. Now let's get into that tip. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right. Let's get into the first Swole fam post. We got one from Jose. Jose, you're on the show.
What's in the box?
Jose from inside the Swolenormous app. Jose is asking, Papa Swolio, is it normal after 4 or 5 weeks of progressive overload to feel tired and as if I'm not able to lift as heavy as last week? So the answer is yes, it's normal if your programming is not on point. And this is what I'm always talking about when it comes to fine tuning. This is common because most people are going to overdo it, and then they take time off and they underdo it, and then they go back and they overdo it, and then they take some time off from the gym and underdo it, and they're constantly building muscle and losing muscle, so they don't make progress long term. So you don't want to keep on changing your program. You want to fine tune your program. Okay? You don't want to keep on changing your program. You want to fine tune your program. And what this means is to toe the line and make sure that you are recovered, yet still providing a proper and adequate stimulus. So progressive overload is great. That means you've been adapting. But if you feel tired, and if you feel like you're not able to lift as heavy as last week, that's something to pay attention to. But that doesn't mean that you're not able to lift as heavy. So do you see your strength going down? Are you not getting stronger? Do you see those numbers stop? So that's definitely a sign that you're not recovering enough. So what I said to Jose, I responded in the app, there's a couple things you can do. You could take a look at the exercise you're choosing, take a look at the volume, or you should be leaving a rep in the tank. Don't train to failure. Now, 0 RIR is still failure. It's task failure. You're not going to be able to do another rep. So it's failure. You're done. If you're attempting, I guess literal failure would be attempting the rep and then failing in the middle of it. But if you just leave off that last part and maybe, leave off the last rep before that, sometimes leaving like literally, hey, I could probably do one more. I could at least attempt one. I'd probably get another one. Just don't do that rep, because that last rep is so much more fatiguing and it's not necessary if you're using heavy loads. So leave a little bit in the tank, train hard, train heavy, leave a rep in the tank, take a look at your exercises. You can tune into a live stream. If you're watching now, Jose, I told Jose to catch a live stream and ask the questions when we're on it. Or you can call in, go to askpapaswolio.com. Members can do that too. You go to askpapaswolio.com and call into the show, and then we can listen to you. You can explain it verbally, because sometimes it's easier than typing it all out. Or typing it all out is good, because then you can be very specific. So either way, just give us some more details. So it could be the exercise you're choosing, but I would leave a rep in the tank and I would take a look at the volume, because ideally you don't want to get to this point. And one of the concerns, or one of the things that often gets overlooked, is something that works now doesn't mean it's going to work in 2 or 3 weeks. Something that works now doesn't mean it's going to work in 2 months, because you might be pushing it, but a little bit more than actually full recovery. And then over time, you're kind of, over a few weeks or over like a month or two, you're kind of wearing down. You don't realize you're doing a little bit too much. So if you find yourself hitting that wall, don't go, what I don't want Jose to do is, oh, fuck off, and then just take 2 weeks off and completely, no. Just keep your training, drop the volume, and leave a rep in the tank, and keep going, and then see if you feel better. And if you feel better, that's a sign that you need to do less volume, and then you can reassess your program. So you don't have to go changing everything, but I want to know more details. I want to know how much volume he's doing. I want to know his rep scheme. I want to know everything, because if you cut down on some of that fatigue from where you're already at, you don't have to change tons of things. You'll learn a lot more. If you feel better, then, so then you kind of know those signals coming up. And in the future, sometimes you're going to do it again. You're going to go through this kind of tug of war a little bit, where you think you're on point and then you kind of feel worn down. And also depends too, if you get bad sleep for a little bit or something happens or whatever it is, you're going to need some more recovery. You might have to adjust. So when in doubt, keep that consistency in the frequency and just decrease the volume. Or if anything, it doesn't mean you have to decrease the volume completely. You could just cut down on one rep. So just leave a rep in the tank. So if you do 2 sets for a body part, just leave 1 rep in. Go heavy, because it's hard to gauge 1 rep in reserve if you're doing 15 reps. It's much easier if you're doing 5, 6 reps and you're like, you can probably try another one, and then just don't do that one. Anyway, you have to fine tune, but just don't go changing everything. Oh my God, I'm feeling a little bit exhausted, and stop training and take a week off No, just because then you don't learn. The goal is to notice these signs if you're doing a little bit too much before you actually have the effect of, oh, my progressive overload has stalled. When you kind of feel those warning signs, just pull back a little bit, and then you'll catch it before it actually manifests into something where you actually are really like injured or burned out. Does that make sense? Zachary in the app. Let's see. Next couple of meals: jasmine rice, 8 ounces of ground beef, and 3 eggs, all cooked in grass-fed butter. Eating real food tastes better than any of the other crap. I agree. Let me zoom in on this pic. Eggs, beef, jasmine rice, grass-fed butter, delicious. And let me tell you, Zachary, you're eating like this, you're not going to feel hungry. You're not going to get those cravings. You're just going to be full, and you're satisfied. And put some salt all over that. All right, let's get into a couple more responses. We got a few. Let me see how many we got. We got like 5. Well, follow up with Tim as the last one. So let's get in with the question. I asked this on Sunday. What was your biggest win this past week? So sometimes for the accountability text, we look to the future. This time we're reflecting. What was your biggest win this past week? Cody says, packing my own food to an annual retraining class while the company ordered 20 pizzas. 20 pizzas. I ate my food I packed, so the discipline to my eating habits. Good for you. Good for you. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? You have a company meeting. You're feeding your employees trash. You know what I think? You know what I think when it comes to these kinds of events? I think it's subconscious. I think people know it's crap, but they like eating crap, so they'll eat the pizza. But what if your company had, grass-fed, I'm just saying, I know it's more expensive. Maybe, I don't know, it depends. But you get catering where you have some nice foods and fruit and an actual meal. People are going to feel good. They just feel more cared for if it's a nice quality, if the intent was there to get you the healthiest food. Ugh, this is gross. Jeremy, lost another inch and had to punch a new notch in the belt. There you go, Jeremy. Good for you. Good for you.
I am the danger.
That must feel good. Another Jeremy. My biggest win is realizing that my asthma is completely under control. Working in my yard was easier than I can remember. I was not winded or tired. I can breathe and live normal. Thank you, Papa. You helped light this fire. I am happy to do it. Good stuff.
And that's the way, I like it. You see on the Sunshine Band.
Mary says, got my sluggish ass lifting again. Felt awesome. Good, Mary. Tim says, getting out of the hospital alive. LOL. Said I had a cardiac event, whatever the fuck that means. Today was my first day back in the gym. Did a semi-light workout. Well, we're glad to hear that. And a cardiac event, maybe some blockage. So, my goodness. Tim, if you're watching live, if you want to share the story, drop in the comments. If you have, I haven't seen it. Let's get into some questions. Drop in the comments down below. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio. Let's get into some topics. We're going to kick it off on Instagram stories. Papa Swolio, you guys want to answer this one for me? Let's let the Swole fam answer this one. From King Joe. For King Joe, let's let some responses. What would you guys tell this person? I know what I'm going to say. But you guys answer this question. How can I get more abs? How can I get more abs? What would the Swole fam say? I know what I would say. But what would the Swole fam say? I know what you're thinking. Ellie says, eating carrots and intermittent fasting. Michelle says, shut your fucking mouth. PK says, go to the fucking gym. Bumble Hunter, eat steak and go to the fucking gym. Jeremy, go to the fucking gym. Mark, by not asking dumbass questions like that. PK says, eat a fucking steak. That's pretty much what I would say. I would say stop being a fucking jabroni chode and go to the fucking gym. Stop eating garbage. Just stop eating poison. That's what I would say. That's what I did say. I love how this Swole fam is like exactly on point. It's like exactly. Eat right and go to the fucking gym, says Danny. Yep, I agree. I concur. The fam knows. Jarella says, cardiac event is what's on my dad's autopsy. I'm glad that person is okay. Oof. So yeah, that could be a heart attack. That could be any kind of, I guess depends on what they did. A cardiac event is just the umbrella category. Wow. Yeah, that's fantastic. We're so glad you posting up on social media, you posting up and responding to Swole text is a good sign. Let's put it that way. Means you're alive, like you said, that you left the hospital alive. Good for you. Yikes. Can that be a new segment? What would the Swole fam say? It is. It is. The Swole fam can answer some of these. I'm gonna let the Swole fam answer questions that I don't want to ask, or I don't want to answer, or that I want you guys to answer. Because some of these ones I'm just gonna be, you've heard what I say before. Okay, let's see. I mean, you guys should be dropping in the comments. You should be answering every question. That's what this is, the knowledge cock. The Swole fam is the extended knowledge cock. So this is like me putting, I don't know. This is like me putting a cock ring on. The Swole fam is already the knowledge cock, but now it's, you know, it's got like a little vibrating ring on it. So ribbed for enhanced pleasure. Kara Alexis 03, is it true people are more attractive in shape? Men told me I'll be hot losing the weight. Yeah, men are attracted to women that look healthy. Some people like big women. But I miss when we called them big. Big. You just say fat women, like they're big. Yeah, they're fat. I mean, the size is fat. But we have to be like, you know, objectively, medically, yeah, it's an obese standpoint. But then you have all these different subcategories, and I'm curvy. No, you're not curvy. You're fat. You're big. Let's put it that way. Some people like big women. But we all know that sometimes people can be big or obese or fat and have, you know, at least temporarily, like they're going to have healthier looking skin. They don't look sickly obese. There's different kinds. We agree. People store fat differently. Some people have more curves, like they're not going to have it all in their gut necessarily. They have it more distributed. So everyone's different. But just because you have fat doesn't mean I don't look at someone and be like, oh my God, they're horrifically unhealthy. Sometimes people just, they're bloated, right? They're bloated, they're swelling, they have a lot of water retention, but they still might have, you know, smooth skin, or they just look oversaturated. You know, there's different reasons why someone could be obese. It could be tons of fat. And for some women, or I would say for most women, it's not, I mean, if people just understood how much bloating and how much water retention they have from all the garbage foods that they're eating and all their other habits, water retention is a huge thing. People are just bloated. And it's not just in the gut. It's just under the skin. You lose 10 pounds of water easily. People have a lot more than that to lose too. Dylan says, Papa, I'm broke. What do I do? Study Bitcoin. I got answers. Is it true people are more attractive in shape? Yes. And what does in shape mean? Again, people have different desires for shape. Some people like a woman with big breasts and then a flat butt. They don't care about a butt. I don't understand how that's possible. I like shape. I like a butt. I don't care if the boobs are big or small. It doesn't matter to me. As long as they're nice, I don't care. Let's see. Yeah, get in shape, build muscle. People are attracted to healthy people. And people that take care of themselves. It's attractive when someone takes care of themselves. Because think about it, you're going to want someone that takes care of themselves, so they're going to look good. They're going to look good because they take care of themselves. And if they take care of themselves, they're going to want to be with someone that takes care of themselves. Someone who's really in great shape usually doesn't want to be with a slob. It just doesn't work. It's such a completely different lifestyle and fundamental caring for life. Michelle says the itty bitty titty committee. Let's go. Cerny says men with a nice hard ass. Hell yes. Ladies like a butt. I think that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest issue with lifting. You know, why is it a trope? Oh, skip leg day. I hate training legs. I don't think dudes understand how much women like butts. I think maybe people understand it more now, but seriously, women love dudes with a butt. It's a huge thing. Like, guys don't want to train. Don't avoid training your glutes, man. Women want to see that power. They want to know that you can thrust and beat their shit up. They want to see that power driving into them. That's where you generate your power from. Mark says that's why it's hard to date for me. I eat nutrient-dense food and go to the gym, but they say I'm obsessed with it, but they make it seem like it's bad. You got to move out of Chicago, bro. Get the fuck... Why are you still there? Get the fuck out of there. Why are you in Chicago, by the way? Drella says, little chicken legs and no butt on a man is sad. Sad. Yeah. Women don't like it. Ladies don't like it. Oresths 20. Papa Solio, what are the best foods with fats for gaining muscle mass? Fam, what do you think? Drop in the comments. The best foods with fat for gaining muscle mass. That's a steak right there. That's a ribeye steak. I know it's more expensive, but just get some ground beef. Grass-fed and finished ground beef, 85%. You get a lot. Understand, people, you don't have to eat steaks all the time. I love eating steak. We eat ground beef too. I'll eat other sources of protein. Eggs, dairy, cheese and kefir and raw cream and raw milk. Yogurt. Those all have fats. Proteins come with fat. So if you're having raw dairy, you're getting plenty of fat. You're having whole eggs, you're having plenty of fat and protein. Ground beef, again, ribeyes are fantastic, but people don't realize you want to get connective tissue too. And if you're not eating New York strips and ribeyes and it gets expensive, of course, you can have ground beef because you're getting fat. They grind up. Understand, you're getting collagen and connective tissue in ground beef. Ground beef is less expensive and it's arguably better than steak, or it's just as good because you're getting a lot of that ground up, and you can grind in organ meats. If you have a butcher, you can get grass-fed beef and liver, and you could actually bring it to a butcher and be like, hey, can you blend these? Can you grind all this together for me? They'll charge you whatever. And so you can put organ meats and have it mixed in, or get a meat grinder and take out the patty and grind it up again with some liver. You can do all sorts of stuff. But anyway, grass-fed and finished ground beef is fantastic because you're getting collagen, you're getting a lot of the connective tissues ground up, and it's 15% fat. So when you say 85%, that's 15% fat. That's a lot of fat. That's a lot of fat. You don't need to be pounding fat. You're going to get it from those foods. So I guess I told you, steak, eggs, dairy. Bam. Avocado is great. You're not getting protein, but avocado is great fruit. Kara, did you go to college? I did. I studied exercise science. Class of 05. Sally Wood X, any suggestion for how to exercise with menopausal aches all over my body? Well, doing it. Yoga, mobility, strength training, you're going to have to push through it. Of course, if you have aches and issues, we all know. There's so many things to look at. All the toxins in underwear and body care and your food intake, nutrition, so important. So there's a lot of things that you're going to need to improve. Because that's a result of your nutrition and all your other lifestyle habits too, the severity of those things. Kara, yeah, fats and collagen. Get a quality collagen, protein, bone broth and stuff. Kara just blowing up Instagram stories. Which is better, cold showers or warm showers? It depends. I love cold showers, but I live in Florida, so it's hot as shit, and I get a lot of sun. I go in the sauna, so I'm usually rinsing off with cold water. I don't get dirty. I don't need to scrub my body like I'm, like I just worked with, like I'm in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. I'm not like, I need to sterilize myself. So, I'm in the cold plunge, or I'm in the sauna, or I'm outside. So I'll, rinse off. I soap, use like beef tallow soap and whatever, but usually cold shower. Sometimes if I feel like a warm shower, I'll take a warm shower. I don't complicate it. So I don't, cold shower is better. So I always do it. I usually take a cold shower because it feels good and I just like it. And plus down here in Florida, it'll be cool like the beginning. Oh my God. Whew, and it's like invigorating. And then the cold water becomes less cold because it's just, we run out of cold water because it's so hot, and then it just becomes more like Luke cool water. So But if I feel like taking a hot shower or a warm shower, I will do that. I will do that. But I think it's just better generally for your skin and for your nervous system and stuff. Cold showers is just really great for you. So if you don't have a cold plunge or you want to start your day, jumping in the shower, just cold water, that's most of the benefits of a cold plunge, to be honest. You don't have to have the whole setup. You can aspire for that. You could do that, but just a cold shower in the morning is just a great way to wake up. And you could dunk your face in some ice water. Like that's always been a good thing. It really stimulates does it stimulate or shut down or inhibit like the vagus nerve or something? It's relaxing. So whenever I do the cold plunge, I always go up to like my head and I make sure I dunk. I don't get my whole head sometimes because I have long hair and I don't want to dry the whole thing. But you can dunk your face in ice water, or usually what I do with my cold plunge, I'll just dunk my head in it. I don't necessarily get in completely. Depends. So if I'm before a workout, I don't want to necessarily cold plunge or right after, but I might dunk my head in because it just feels good, but I don't soak my body in cold water. So, but you could do that. You could just do cold showers. You don't have to feel, oh, I don't have a cold plunge. You don't have to have that. Casella Sebastian, how can I bring back my training passion? Well, that's a good question. What would you guys recommend? Casella, how can I bring back my training passion? I like crowdsourcing some of these questions. I'll talk about it, but then I'll read some of your comments. Now, this usually comes back when people ask me passion, motivation. Usually people mean as the same thing. I just look at this and think you just don't have purpose, because your passion should be your life and taking care of your health and challenging yourself, but you have the purpose to take care of yourself and to, build strength, to overcome, to adapt. It's good for your hormones. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your physical health. It's good for your longevity. It's good for so many things. So I think your first issue is thinking that passion is relevant here. This is like wiping your ass after you take a shit. You don't have to, look, again, it's the same thing with motivation. Casella, do you have a passion for wiping your ass? Do you take a shit, you just ate Taco Bell because you're a chode, and you just blew out your asshole? Do you think right after, you're like, how do I bring back my wiping passion? I don't really feel like wiping my ass. Like, how do I bring back my passion for wiping my ass? No, you fucking do it so you don't smell like a ball of shit. That's what you do. And if you're watching on TikTok, you're just part of the show. If you want to watch the full show, come on over on Rumble or YouTube at The Daily Swole. That's why you can't see the question, because you're just a guest. Everyone else is involved over here. So, yeah, you don't need to be inspired to wipe your butt. You don't need to have passion for training. You need to have purpose. So shift your focus from passion to purpose. You don't have purpose, so you're relying on passion or motivation or inspiration. When you have purpose, it makes it irrelevant. Cerny says, why are you wasting time asking? You know what you need to do. Also a very valid point. How can I bring back my training passion? Fuck you, dude. Go train. I'm not passionate about it. Who cares? Passionate about it. That's why when you have purpose, you don't need passion. When you have purpose, you're doing it. You don't even need discipline. That just you say you have discipline. If you have purpose, you don't need discipline. How do I build discipline? It's just what you call someone that does something because it's time to do the thing. You still might like doing it. I'm disciplined to go to the gym. I guess. I'm glad that I enjoy doing it. I love doing it. So that's a benefit, but I've done it. I do it when it's not convenient. Just because it's convenient for me now, just because I forged my life around this and I built a business and this is what I love doing. So I built something around what I enjoy doing. But I've done all the training I've ever needed to do when it's not convenient. So people will say, well, Papa Swole, you have a whole gym at your house. It's easy for you. You just sit here on a podcast. Like, this is just a fraction of what I do. Most people, I'm not expecting you to know the business inside and out, so that's not your concern. But I've spent years and years of my life training when it wasn't convenient, rushing to the gym, trying to get back for clients. And like, I've done I've done a lot of training and I made a lot of gains when it wasn't like the center point of what I'm doing for business. I do that for myself. I don't like recording my training. So I have training content and we do some master classes, but I don't like recording my training because that's my time and I do it. I like doing it with just myself. I don't record. I don't need music. I just like going and training and doing the work. So, but I've done all of that. I've done all sorts of jobs and different things where I still trained. I still did all that stuff. So I know what it's like. I know what it's like to bartend and then be tired in the morning and going to the gym before. I've done it all. When I say done it all, like I've done those jobs. I've done that work. I've done the traveling and being in the car and 3 hours a day in the car and traffic and bringing my meals everywhere. Like I've done all that shit, which is why I don't want to do that now. I don't want to do that. I've done that. I put in my fucking time and everything that I do is so I don't have to do that. But you prioritize it. And when you prioritize something, that means you do it and you make sure it gets done and it needs to have top priority, meaning you work everything else around that. And if you're not willing to do it, then guess what? You're not going to have amazing results. So either you want amazing results, so you put in amazing effort and you prioritize, or you don't. So you're not going to have both. If you want to build muscle, you have to prioritize building muscle. It comes at the expense of other things. You're not going kayaking all the time, right? You're not fucking off eating garbage. You're not staying up all night. So what do you want? Pick one. But just don't complain about it and then not put in the fucking work. Because it does take work. A lot of work. But it's fun and enjoyable to challenge yourself. And if you have purpose and understand why you're doing it, then you don't need discipline. You do it because, well, you're a human. You're a human and you need to be challenged. You need to be stressed. You need to overcome that. You need to stimulate. That's why you don't have to fatigue yourself. You don't have to kick your fucking ass into the ground. You have to beat the shit up out of yourself, expose your body to that stress and stimulus. I can go into the gym and just push fucking hard just for like an hour and a half or so with rest periods and load up that weight. I get so much physical stress. I just feel great. You get it out. My body feels great. My joints don't ache. This is another thing, just to talk a little bit about our program inside Swolenormous X, just to pivot for a second, Maximum Swole. Especially if you're leaving, we talked about it earlier, like leaving a rep in the tank. Man, it is so nice. Maximum Swole is so great because your joints won't hurt anymore. Most people have issues with their joints and inflammation. It's because they're doing 20 fucking sets for curls. They're doing the same fucking movement to inflammation. They're beating themselves up. You can train heavy and train frequently, and I feel great. I barely feel sore. Like, okay, I know psychologically I worked out yesterday, but I'm not sore. Good. I don't have to be sore. My numbers are going up. I'm doing a tremendous more weight for more reps than like certain exercise. I don't feel sore at all. But the numbers just keep on fucking going up. It's fantastic. And I don't have the joint pain. I don't have the joint fatigue. I don't have like the elbow pain or the shoulder pain or the knee pain because I'm stimulating and then recovering completely. You don't have to dig 10,000 feet in the ground to plant a tree. Just got to dig 5 or 10 feet. So like do that 5 feet, just do that 5 feet to plant a tree. Depends how big it is. You dig a fucking foot. Not even. So it depends. Anyway, just a little rant on that. People think they have to do so much for their body. You don't have to do so much. You have to just do it frequently. And again, and a little bit more with a little bit more weight, and then a little bit more weight, and then a little bit more weight. And you're not, remember the whole thing, you're not training to fatigue. The goal is not to fatigue. Look, when you do a stimulus, when you're training, when you're lifting weights, and you're training hard, you're training close to failure, that's going to build up fatigue. But the goal is not fatigue. And people train for fatigue. People train to be destroyed. People train to be exhausted. They train to not be able to move their arms. People train for fatigue. That's not the growth. You want to create the overload with You want to create the overload with ideally as little fatigue as possible that you can recover from. Because there might be benefits for you getting a little bit more fatigue with how you're training, but you need to just maybe have whatever extra recovery that you need for the relative fatigue. And personally, I like to be able to move. I like to be able to move. So I'm in the garden, I'm with the dogs. I just don't want to bend down and be like, oh my God, I can barely fucking move. I can't move. I remember I used to be sore for 6 days. My legs were fucked. Like my legs were absolutely jacked. My legs were just destroyed. And it affected everything. You're so sore, everything hurts, and it's just macro damage. I don't need that. I like feeling it a little bit, but it's not required. If my numbers are going up, I know I'm getting stronger. You just don't have the swelling in the muscles. So people look at their muscles. Oh, my quads are getting bigger. My biceps are getting bigger, and they're super sore. They're also inflamed. There's blood in there. There's fluids in there. So you have swelling. Your muscles aren't bigger. They're inflamed. It takes a while to build muscle. So you need to, how do I get the stimulus without that kind of swelling and inflammation afterwards so I can recover 100% so I could do it again as soon as possible? So if I'm doing one set of biceps 3 times a week, that's better than training biceps once a week. And if I'm getting to progressively overload 3 times in the week while you're lifting once, you barely got that PR and then you just beat the shit up out of your biceps on Monday, I'm doing 1 set 3 times a week or 2 sets twice a week or over the course of 3 times over 8 days or something. More frequency, 2 to 3 more times of a chance to add a little bit more weight, to add a pound, to add a rep. So the different ways to think about it. Like 2 to 3 times a week for a body part is really the sweet spot, and how you structure things is just, and I talked about this, I think yesterday on Sunday in the episode, but you really want to customize. You really want to have, a muscle customization program, which means, what are you trying to bring up? So drop in the comments. What are you trying to bring up? What are you trying to focus on? People pick a split and then wonder why certain body parts don't grow. What body parts are you trying to optimize? Yes, I know you want to build everything. I want to get bigger everywhere. Okay, well, then you can just pick like a general program then, prioritizing certain things. But if you want to specifically build up 2, 3, or 4 different exercise or body parts, then start there and then say, hey, I want to prioritize these. What split would work best for training these? Because you want to train them first. So if you want to bring up your quads, you want to train quads at least twice a week. Right? So you can do 2 lower body workouts, or you can do full body, put quads first, like Monday, Friday. And then on the Wednesdays, you could work on your adductors. Because if you want bigger legs, you want big adductors too. Or you can do something where it's like glute, where you're getting kind of like hamstring, hip hinge, glute. So that's what I kind of do. I split those things up. I just make sure that I have kind of like coats of paint. So I found out, or I'm kind of in that point where I don't really like doing quads every other day. So I do 2 sets on Monday, for example, and then I'll do 2 sets on Friday. But then on Wednesday, I'll do adductor, and I'll do like step back lunges deficit for glutes and the posterior adductors, because I'm also getting a little bit of knee flexion. I'm getting a little bit of quads, but not really. So it's like, I don't know. I go back and forth, but you want to figure out what body parts you're trying to bring up, and then you train them first and be like, hey, how can I train this 3 times a week? Cool. I could do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So again, you could have a full body split with just, let's say, a shoulder exercise on Monday, Wednesday, Friday that you're starting off with. One day you start with an overhead press. The next time you start with like a lateral raise. The next time you start with, 1 set of or posterior deltoid or whatever it is, or another overhead press. And the next week you do lateral raise, overhead press, lateral raise. And then you could still do upper, lower, upper. Just on one day you do shoulders first, and then on the next time you do your shoulders first and then legs. So you could just even pick one thing and put it first. You're trying to build up your calves every other day, then just train them first and then do whatever else you're going to do. You can still do upper, lower. Just do calves upper and then calves lower and then calves upper and then calves lower. It's kind of like that. And I still like the every other day approach because I like to lift. And a lot of people think like, I need to be in the gym every day because I love lifting. Okay, I love lifting too. So I train every other day. I guess it's quote full body. It's whatever needs to get trained. And then I'm either training or I'm looking forward to training the next day. Right? So today is a recovery day because I trained hard yesterday, but I'm like fatigued. So like, cool, I can rest. I get to look forward to training tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'm training. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm training whatever I want. And the next day, I'll look forward to training the next day. So I'm always either training or looking forward to training. And the goal is to keep training and to not burn out. So I just adjust what I do on every other day to make sure I could train consistently and focus on the areas I want to focus on. And that can change. You could focus on something for a month or two and then switch what you prioritize. You're not set in this fucking split forever. And different exercises are going to be more fatiguing or less fatiguing. So if you try to do a certain exercise every other day, it might wipe you out. So pick something else or alternate it. You don't have to do every body part every day. And you don't have to do every exercise for every body part every session. So for your shoulders, you don't need, just pick one shoulder exercise, one. Do some sort of like cable or dumbbell lateral raise and do an overhead press. Pick one, do one or the other. Don't do both. You don't need both. You're working the middle and the anterior during both anyway. Anyway, okay, let's move on. Healthy Daddy, Papa Swole, can you show the things you eat? Well, Mama Swole's not here right now, but she's out. She's doing something. So, Nunu Ham, Papa Swole, how to lift 6 to 7 days a week without compromising recovery. Thanks, Papa. We just talked about it. You don't. By lifting 6 to 7 days a week, you are literally maximizing fatigue. You're compromising. You're not recovering at all. You don't need to lift more than 3, maybe 4 days in a week, in 7 days, every other day, or 2 days on, one or 2 days off. Upper lower split or full body, I think body parts should be trained 2 to 3 times a week. All right. Last chance for questions. Drop them in the comments. So remember, if you're going to the gym and you're doing cardio on an off day, I'm not calling that. So when you say lifting 6 to 7 days a week, that means you're doing like chest, and you're doing back, and then you're doing quads, and you're doing too much. Even on upper lower split, let's say it's 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 2 off, that's still 4 days. Even if you do 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off, repeat, that's 5 days because you're training on Sunday. If you're doing every other day, you're doing either 3 or 3.5. Essentially 3.5, because some days you'll get 3, some weeks you'll get 3, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, that's 4 technically. But then the next week it's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then Monday. So it's 3. So it averages out to 3.5. But what I do is I've just been doing every other day and then taking an extra day if I feel like it. So it's like doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. I just do it whenever. So I find usually doing full body, doing every other day, I need an extra day. It's usually 3 days. So it usually kind of is essentially, if I did start on Monday, it'd be like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. Sometimes I'll do 4 workouts and then take 2 days off. I just take an extra day if I feel like I need it. And then I reassess. If I feel like I need it, then what can I adjust? Either I keep that, because what I can do is maybe on that 3rd workout, I can send it and do like JM press and really push hard, do an extra set because I have an extra day recovery, so I can kind of do exercises. There might be certain moves that you find that when you do them, it fatigues a body part a little bit more. So maybe you do that when you know you have an extra recovery day, so you can plan it that way. Or I'll look at this and say, well, if I have to take 2 days off, maybe I need to fine tune the exercise selection or the volume or the the reps in reserve. And then if I want to continue doing every other day, because sometimes I feel like I need an extra day. And then sometimes it just works out. Oh, we're going to do this. It's like, oh, well, I can just train the next day. I'll just take an extra recovery day here. So it's an easy pivot. It's never a bad thing. Even if I do, Monday, Wednesday, and then I'm taking Thursday off and something comes up on Friday and okay, I'll just train Saturday. It's awesome. A little extra recovery. I'll feel great and I'll hit it like I did. 72 hours versus 48 hours of recovery. And understand it, down to the hour and the minute matters. So if you're training in the afternoon, if you train in the evening on Monday, and then you train in the morning on Wednesday, that's not 2 days. That's not 48 hours. So the hours, don't think of it as a day. Well, I trained on Monday. I took Tuesday off. You got Tuesday, you got 24 hours off, not 48. Even though you trained on Monday, people think that, oh, the day, like your body resets, it's to the hour. So you might feel, even if you're doing every other day for a body part, that Tuesday evening, you might feel a little bit like, oh, I feel the next day, you're back. By the time you train in the afternoon, that's another, 14 hours of recovery. So the hours matter. Okay, let's move on. If you're watching on TikTok, come on over to The Daily Swole on Rumble or YouTube, your choice. You can click the link in bio. We got buy one, get one 50% off on all merch. And there's links to the podcast, memberships, the app, and everything in the menu on papaswolio.com if you're watching on TikTok. Come on and catch the rest of the show. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to some balls deep content, shall we?
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! That's deep.
This is wild. Pick a number. Pick a number 1, 2, or 3. But watch this. Check this out on my X account. Look at this guy. So if you didn't hear or you didn't know, I guess, the Pope died, and then Klaus Schwab announced that he was stepping down from the head of the World Economic Forum. So this guy is in. So I said, why are all these clowns looking like comic book villains? Klaus Schwab looked like a freaking James Bond villain. But look at this guy. He's got a fucking like bionic eye like the Terminator. Yo, why does everyone that is the head of the World Economic Forum look like a comic book villain? It's just wild. Of all the people to run the World Economic Forum after Klaus Schwab, who wears like something from Star Wars. Yo, this dude. This post says, meet Peter Brabeck, Letmath, former CEO of Nestle, who famously stated in 2017, quote, humans have no right to access free water. ... I want to know the whole context, but yikes. That's a tough snippet. That's a tough one. That's a tough snippet. I don't know the full context of that, FYI, but. Nunu says, every other day, what to do on an off day? Recover. If you're training hard, you need to recover. Your body needs to repair. Do I sit around? Mobility? Do some yoga. Go for a walk. It depends on your training split. I'm not telling you how to take days off. I'm just saying that lifting weights 7 days a week is zero recovery. And anything more than probably 3 or 4 is going to be terrible for your recovery. You're not going to do it, especially if you're natural. If you're out here and you're a pro bodybuilder, when you're going to recover faster if you're taking testosterone and growth hormone. I'm not an expert. I don't take any of that stuff. I'm open to TRT in the future, but when you're taking something that helps you recover faster, that's what most anabolic steroids do, is they help you recover faster. Your body repairs and builds proteins faster, and you grow muscle faster. You just repair faster. So it allows you to train harder more often. This is what we're trying to do naturally. That's why every other day, full body, 1 set, maybe 2 sets, depending on if you do it 2 or 3 times a week, leave a rep in reserve. If you're natural, you have to every fucking thing matters. It really does. You can tip the scale so easily. You ever have a scale and you put something on it that's a little bit too heavy and it kind of and then you put a little bit more And it kind of, what happens when you put a little bit too much? It doesn't just go bonk. You put a little bit more, it goes like, and it might like, slowly really start to tilt. Doesn't, if you just put like, if you go from one set for a body part to 10, that's like putting a brick on the other side. The scale is going to flip over. But you put a little bit more, it just, you keep on putting more on the end and it's eventually going to tip. So it doesn't go right away. So you want that balance. And if you start getting a little bit more towards fatigue, it's like, leave her up in the tank, kind of bring it back. Oh, add another recovery day. Oh, that feels really good. Cool. I'm training hard. That's awesome. Let me try another set. It's like, okay, well, that's good for right now. Let me take an extra recovery day. Oh, let me keep leaving your rep in the, rep in the tank. Like it kind of like slowly over time, your fatigue decreases. Your progressive overload is fine because you're not adding more to the pile kind of thing. It's just that. If you're taking testosterone or something that helps you recover faster, it's like you can like, wow, I did 15 sets and I'm right back in a day or two. I can hit it again. It's like that kind of thing. So it really aids in how fast you recover. We're trying to do this naturally. So it's like we're dealing with straws here. We're not able to tip the scale too fast or too much towards stimulus. And I've done this many times. Because I'm the type of person where I find something that I like to implement into my routine all the time. So it was an issue when I got my Versa Climber. I haven't used that thing in fucking months. It's just so exhausting. I haven't figured out how to add it to anything that I'm doing. I'm just going to have to take away a lot of other things in order to use it because it's really exhausting. So I was doing 1,000 vertical feet in the morning, which is like probably 5 minutes or 10. And then it was great. And then I just hit a wall. So I probably have to do like 5 minutes. Maybe first thing in the morning, I'll go and I'll just do 5 minutes just to wake up, like really little, nothing crazy. I don't know. You just got to don't underestimate how much extra intense training and things can make a big difference. But this is what you want to do. You have to learn your body. That way, when you see the signs of something coming up, you're able to pull back and adjust. If it's just, hey, I'm going to do what that person does. Well, you don't have that person's life. You don't have that person's foundation. I tell people what I do. They don't have my life. So if you have more fatigue and more other things, then you need to really be more mindful of it. Depends on what you want to do and the kind of results that you want. If you want to go to the gym, and I like the gym, I like training, I like beating the shit out of myself. Cool. But understand that you're leaving gains on the table and you're going to sacrifice you're just going to sacrifice your success. You're sacrificing the upside just to feel temporarily exhausted. And that's the thing. I don't want to feel exhausted. I don't think I followed through with this comment I was saying earlier, but the way I train now, I get sore. I feel yesterday I did 2 sets of pendulum squats. Like I'm not like inflamed crazy, but like, oh yeah, I know I did it psychologically. In my quads, I feel a little bit fatigued, not crazy sore, but I could bend down and pick something up. I can, go outside with the dogs and move around. I'm not crippled. I can go for a walk. My upper body, I did 2 sets of chest and 2 back. I've been doing these exercises for a while with these movements. So it's not like a novel stimulus. And I feel great. And tomorrow I'll train again. And it just feels good. It feels good. I don't want to be crippled. I want to be able to move. And I don't want to have to be like my joints ache and my knee hurts. I'm not training to be in pain. I'm training to build and to get ahead of this stuff. I think it's also maturity. I've been doing this for a long time. So my joints have had a lot of wear. And what's been probably the biggest deal is leaving a rep in the tank. Knowing that I'm doing the pendulum squats, I get all the way up and I'm like, oh, I could probably do one more or so. Cool. Rack done. I don't need to have that last rep where I'm fighting for 20 seconds and my tendons are about to tear. And I'm like, screaming, fighting through it. I've done that shit. I've done that kind of training. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool to push your limits. I've done that. I've done sets where I didn't think I could get another rep and I did another 10, and it's like, I wish I had a recording of it. It was just insane training. Insane training, like just 50 fucking reps, insane Tom Platt styles. I used to do that shit and fucking destroy myself. I used to do sets of 20 with like 225, like when I was in college, like for squats. I would fuck my world up because the goal was like, I'm going to build muscle. How hard can I push myself? Which is cool. Which is great. It caused a lot of damage and soreness and stuff, but it built muscle. And it also taught me to push to failure and to push and understand what your limits actually are and the difference in how it feels. I don't have to do that anymore. I lift so heavy, doing 5+ plates on a pendulum. I don't need to, I don't need to do 20 fucking reps. I'm not trying to prove anything to myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to prove I don't need to. It's not worth that kind of, because if you leave that one rep, you're leaving a little bit of capacity. You're not pushing yourself to your absolute limit. And what happens when you push things to their absolute limit? You get injuries, you have things that pop, that snap, so train hard and keep on increasing the weight, but leave that one rep. You're leaving off a lot of risk, a lot of fatigue, a lot of soreness. And after a set, when I have, let's say pendulum squat, when I have another rep in the tank, and I know I could probably do one more, maybe two, I feel so much better. If I go to that limit, I am wiped out and I can't do anything else. I'm not trying to zap myself. Again, stimulus, but then recovery as fast as possible. You want stimulus and then right back, the most stimulus you can have relatively, and then minimizing that fatigue and finding that balance where you're recovering enough for the rest, for the recovery till you train again, systemically, locally, all those things. All right, let's get into a video. If we have a short one, we'll do that first. They're all about a minute. This one's 34 seconds. Let's do this one. I'm feeling it. Number 2. Who picked number 2?
What's in the box?
Humbled medical exam. Humbled
so fucking hard in the medical exam. She was like, I'm just going to put, the risk assessment at the bottom. And the risk assessment is because you're overweight. I mean, you don't want to sit on any chairs and break them. My fat ass sat on the children's chairs for 9 years, didn't break a single one. Okay? Thank you very much. And she got me to lift my leg up in the air, and she goes, you're very flexible. God forbid, a fat bitch is flexible. Humbled to high heavens. Now I have a fear that I'm going to break a fucking chair because of my fat ass. I'd never broken one singular thing and I sat on many things. She's like, I think you have hyper flexibility. You got to be careful, the way that you bend and stuff. And I said, bitch, you want to see me do the splits right now? I can do it. I can do the splits if you want. She didn't want to see it, but she was like, it says here that, you were diagnosed with anxiety and depression at 16 years old. Didn't know you could see that, bitch. She was like, tell me about your 16-year-old self. Was there any suicidal tendencies? I lied in this woman's face. I said, suicide? Me? Absolutely not. Don't know her. Compliment and insult all in one. You're a fat bitch, but you're pretty flexible. You got hyper flexibility. Fatty but flexible. I should change my username to that. Fat and flexible.
What is the best move to silence a woman?
All right, well, let's just move right along. This one's called thinness. What's with these people in cars? What? Look at this. I just realized this.
What's in the box?
What's with these people just fucking whining and bitching and moaning in a car?
I just wanted to add my 2 cents about the discussion about the current obsession with skinniness or thinness coming back, and how it's a reflection of our society and our country in general being pushed back to the right and towards conservative. I think it's also extremely convenient that thinness specifically, not skinniness, because there's a difference. To me, a lot of these content creators within the fitness world, and health and wellness niche and all that, they've been skinny. We just don't call them skinny because we are confusing skinniness with thinness. We just excuse that but they have muscle mass and so they're not skinny, they're strong.
Yeah, swole as fuck, bitch.
Especially the women. Women are not meant to have that low of body fat, especially not for an extended period of time. Anyways, I kind of already posted about that, but thinness is what's coming back now. And I think it's extremely convenient that it's coming back at a time when cost of living is so high and people can't afford groceries, because I think we would be seeing weight loss
How's it still going?
trends amongst the public regardless of whether or not it was coming back into fashion. I think the fact that it's coming back into fashion is a way to eliminate cause of concern for seeing people around you losing weight all of a sudden. Because right now we can just be that's just what everyone's doing it. It's online, it's the new thing. Get thin, get thin. People can't afford groceries.
People can't afford groceries. Don't get swole. People can't afford groceries. There are starving kids in China. Don't go to the fucking gym. How dare you go to the fucking gym when there's carbon in the air, when climate change is there. All right. Last one. This one's called...
What's in the box?
This one's called Get in the Way. Well, you're wearing a mask outside, so... Carbon dioxide's getting in your way.
If you see ICE disappearing people in the streets, will you get in the way? Yes! If you are charged with enforcing any part of the president's unlawful executive orders, will you resist? Yes! If you're...
Okay, all right. Yeah, New York City. Looks like New York City. No joke there. This is like a bull dyke, fat, morbidly obese bull dyke. The person that's in the crowd or the interpreter who's doing sign language is morbidly obese. So everyone's just fat. God, these people don't have jobs. That's the issue. You don't have fucking jobs. Shouldn't you be working and providing value to society? What are you doing?
neighbor needs a place to hide, will you hide them? Yes! And right now, as the Maine legislature is trying to scapegoat transgender students...
Her fucking fat arm is that honeycomb on her arm? Oh, her arm is she's morbidly obese. It's grotesque.
Athletes bargaining long-held civil rights away in hopes that it will save Maine's federal funding. Will you
All
show
women,
up
by
for
the
them
way.
and say
Not a
that
single
our
man I
human
see.
rights aren't for
Is that a dude?
sale? Yes!
One dude?
Thank you.
I can't tell also because all the women look like dudes. All the women look like dudes. Remember what we saw with that chart? Remember it was all college educated women. We want to say educated, college indoctrinated white women were like 40, plus 40 anti-Trump or something against Trump. Or negative 38. Yeah. It's all the liberal women. Just ignore them. Just ignore them. Keep on posting things that make fun of these retards online. Just keep going. Just keep going. Fucking lunatics. Let's do a throwback. Let's throw it back. Ooh, what is this one? What is this one? Jesus
Hello,
Christ.
everybody.
The fuck is that?
Wow, okay. And I wanted to show everybody the kind of diapers that I wear all the time.
You're an inhuman monster!
I am so glad that I am a little sissy baby girl.
Oh, you sick fuck.
I am so glad that I will never, ever have to be an adult ever again. Okay, bye-bye.
This has got to be a fucking joke.
Retard, man.
Tell me it's a fucking joke. Look, fam, come on. That should be obviously a troll. And if it is, it's like, bro, you're going far for that one. I can't tell if it's a troll, and that's a problem for me. It should be obviously a troll, but it's not obviously a troll.
I don't know what the fuck this is.
Jesus Christ. Oh, wow. That's the end of the show. That's the end of the show right there. Good gracious, Ignatius. Fam, hashtag SwoleAF for a chance to win today's Swole card. Now, before we give that away, we'll drop that in the comments. We have awesome specials over there at papaswolio.com. Buy one, get one. Actually, it's not over at papaswolio.com. It's over at notretarded.com. Not retarded. Not retarded. Go to notretarded.com and get 50% off when you buy one, get one 50% off. Now, maybe I should clarify to people, it's buy one, get one 50% off. It's also buy two, get two 50% off. Buy three, get three 50% off. We should put that like in the top. It should be like in the headline on the webpage. It should be buy one, get one 50% off. Buy two, get two 50% off. Buy three, get three 50% off. ... So people get it. Oops. So let's see. We got all these awesome designs. Buy one, get one. Notretarded.com. Swole Gumby, my Swole Pony, Swole White, and the 7 Steaks. Love it all. Chicken is a vegetable. Fam, go and check it out. papaswolio.com. Shameless plug. Let's get into the Swole card. Let's give this bad boy away. Falcon. Swole AF. Swole AF, we got a winner. Today It is LET 1, 2, 3. LET123. Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3273 in the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. Congratulations. Thank you for being here, fam. We'll see you tomorrow. Say goodbye to the tainty man.
Hi, puppy.
And join us over at swolenormousx.com. Join the fam today. We got a lot of cool things dropping. All the new releases are available now in the Swolenormous app right there on your home screen. It's right there, popping up in 3, 2, 1, bam. We got all the new drops. We got a shoulder mobility flow express with Alex. We got all the drops, right? NotRetarded.com. We got the butter basted ribeye steak, Cajun shrimp, smoked salmon omelet. We got a lot of cool things, new drops. We got the previous week's Master Your Hips was last week's course that we dropped in the yoga studio. Swole Gumby, sweet potato nachos, Greek chicken burger, all that stuff, plus featured classes this week. Go check it out. Download the Swolenormous app today and join the fam over at swolenormousx.com. You can go there too and learn more. Peace, McGeese, Deuce Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Oh.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stocks crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now the king left and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Hey, yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is